Before we get started with this one, I just want to say a massive thank you to A&E Motorsport. What they've done is they've given me a discount code which I'll put here. Use that at the checkout to get yourselves £5 off. Right, back to the video. Right guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you a little breakdown of what's in the box. There's a couple of things we need to do first, so I'll open the box, show what we have to do, and then we'll get straight into the install. I will just say there's some work going on over the road. They've got a pneumatic drill out, so hopefully you can hear me, and if you can't hear me then I do apologise guys, but for now let's see what's in the box. Okay, straight away we are greeted with this message. It basically just says to maybe get one of these and cut it down like I have done. Breakdown of that is basically I bought some Allen keys with these ball heads on the end and just cut this piece off to aid the removal and installation of the bolts around the Recirc, which is basically what that tells you. So then we've got Forge Motorsport sticker, we have the forge valve itself, and then in here there is a spring, and on there it's saying obviously, you know, this is for when you have an ECU remap, so being as though we do, that needs to go into there. And then in here we have now got two seals, a big seal and a small seal that needs to be installed before we continue, so that is exactly what we're going to do. Here we have the Recirc valve. Now this piece just unscrews, he says. There we go. And be careful because obviously the spring is in there. So lift him out carefully, place that down. That's the green spring that comes obviously preloaded in here, but again because we're mapped we're going to stick the yellow one in. You see there's a seal in there as well, the black ring, so make sure not to pinch it when we put this back together. And just go back on there, screw it back down. Okay, so then if you flip it over, you've got a smaller groove there and a larger groove there, which is obviously for these. So we're just going to pop that one in there like so, and then this one in there as well. And there we have our Forge Recirc ready to go. Sorry again about the noise, I can't do anything about it. This is something I use that I made. Just three pieces of wood, long, medium, short. That one screwed to that one screwed to this one, and it just allows me to drive the car or reverse the car up onto here so that it's a higher for me to get the jack underneath. So that's always a good thing to have, especially if you're lowered like we are. We need to get to that silver bit there. That's the other one that I've got on there, that one. And the bolts, there's one just by my finger there, there's one up the top there, and then there's one just behind some of these pipes here, just there I think, or is it up the top? I can't quite remember. But yeah, there's three bolts anyway, so I'll get them undone. Right then guys, this is pretty much the setup. There's the stubby ball jointed Allen key that we cut up. That's going to go into a 5mm socket because obviously this is a 5mm. I did forget to say that. The bolts that are in there holding the Recirc on are 5mm. So your 5mm Allen key extension bar piece, 5mm socket to fit that into, and then obviously a couple of extensions and your ratchet to obviously help you turn it, crack the bolts loose. Put all of these little extension pieces together and I will show you how we're going to get in. So yeah, I've just taken this piece off the bracket just to keep it out of the way. This piece you can't really take off as easy. So move this one out of the way. This that I've got my finger on here is the electrical connection for the boost solenoid valve. You need to take this off the little bracket that it's sat on. It literally just pushes up and it should come off.
Nope.
This hole here just goes over this metal bracket. So once that's out of the way, you can see at least 2 of the bolts there. So we'll crack those off, and the other one is just hiding up that way. So let's crack those off with this long bar that I was saying about. So we're going to get these. Another good idea, guys, is to put tape around there, because if obviously there's no, that just comes out, there's no, you know, magnet holding that in or anything like that. So just going to wrap a little bit of tape around that, and then we can get the bolts out. I'm not too sure how much you'll see of this, but that, the way I've gone over that little U shape in the brake line, that's going to the 1 bolt, which is, if it focuses the top, remember I said about the top one, so you got one there, one down there, and the other one right at the top up there. So that's the first one, that's the easiest one to get to. We are on that 2nd bolt at the low part of the Recirc. So just got that off same way again over the top, and cracked it already. You can just spin it, and then get your hands in when it's near the end and try and grab the bolt, because it's not all that big. Right, this is really difficult to show you, this top one, but if you can kind of see the angle that I'm at, it might help you a little bit. I'm over the top of the U-bend again, and I've had to put a little bit of a mother extension on just to get it a little bit further in. So let me see if we can get the light on him. It's very, very difficult to show you, look guys. And my torch is playing up. Follow that back there. He is in, so hopefully that can give you an idea of whereabouts it is and how best to get to it. But yeah, I'm just going to crack that now, and then we can get that 3rd one out and take the Recirc out. There we have it, guys. That is the Recirc valve, and obviously, like I was saying about before, this bracket that comes out too. Now on the Recirc itself, you've got this nipple here, and there is a vac line that goes to that. So obviously you'll have to disconnect that as well before you can remove all of this. That is where the flat spot sits, sort of opposite this piece, if you like. So let's get this into the shed, and we'll have a look at it, and we'll see the difference between that and the forge. They're not too dissimilar. Obviously this one's got a straight out nipple on it, and this one's got the right angled one. But you know, other than that, there's not much difference in the two. So yeah, I mean, underneath these, this is pretty battered. Yeah, it's got a couple of nicks in it and stuff, but yeah, these seals aren't exactly the best. So I'm just going to take this off now and see what it's like inside there. That's it opened up. Obviously that's the lid, the spring. Feels alright. There is a seal. There you go, it's just popped off. Look how thin that seal is. That is so thin, it's all paper thin, and that's supposed to just sit in there. When you push it in, it doesn't actually seat very well. You get one little bit and then it moves somewhere else. Like you can see, it's moved here on this bottom edge. So then you put it back in there and it will move somewhere else. So maybe that could have been causing a problem, but we've now got this forged bad boy to go in, where all the seals are good. They feel proud. Whereas on the other side of this one, these ones are really flat. They're not really got, I don't really think they'd be creating much of a seal. So obviously pushing the extra power that we are now, that's going to go in the bin. So let's go back down to the car and stick this one on, and then we can take it for a quick test drive. Right guys, there we have the Ford Recirc changed over. Now I wasn't going to bore you with putting obviously all the little bolts back in and that, and yes I know I need to put that on, I'll do that shortly, but I just wanted to show you that's all in now. And in obviously doing it back up, it's just the reverse of how you took them off in the first place. So I'm going to put that hose back onto that now, and then we'll get the car down off the jacks and we'll see how it's working. Well guys, we've put the car back together and I've just took it out for a bit of a rip. Hasn't solved my issue, so I'm lost as to what the hell's going on. I can't see any boost leaks. I know there's one thing I haven't checked, and that is the cold side boost pipe. It's the one where the map sensor goes in from obviously the intercooler up to the throttle body. Now if you've been with the channel you'll know that I had problems with that. If not, then click in the corner and you will see what I mean. So I will check that tomorrow and we'll see how we get on with that, but failing that, I think it might be turbo. I think the turbo might be on the way out or gone. Well, not gone, but do you know what I mean? Failing. So I'm not too sure, but we shall persevere, we shall continue, we shall carry on. Guys, it's been probably about 2 weeks since I picked up the camera. I did film a little bit last week where the wife was helping me to get the headlight out and stuff out the way so that we can get to the cold side boost pipe, but the footage was a little bit, wasn't the best, and my speech was terrible because I think the drugs that they put in my system to keep me asleep and help me with the pain and that, morphine and God knows what else, messed me up. So I didn't, I'm not going to include that, but basically what we've done is we got into the cold side boost pipe and I was going to check the map sensor to make sure that wasn't you know, broke like it was before. Click up there to see that video. If you've got a cold side boost pipe from ProHose, then that will help you decide whether to have one or not. So we got into the cold side boost pipe and the map sensor, the surround of the map sensor was actually still intact, which I was quite surprised about. However, where it connects to the intercooler had come off. So the other day I was feeling a bit better. I got in there and started to see if I could put it back on and connect it up properly, and the Jubilee clip that goes around it to keep it attached to the outlet of the cold side of the intercooler, the Jubilee clip was slipping, so you'll tighten it so much and then it will just turn and go loose again. So I was like, shit, I need to get a different Jubilee clip. Now up on my shelf I've got an absolute bag full of them, so I'm going to get those out. I'm going to go back out to the car because I put it all back together in the end, because I attempted to drive and I was okay, a bit close. I went for a drive to make sure I was okay driving and that, so that's a massive plus for me because everything that I went through having my appendix out, it really knocked me for 6. So being able to drive again's give me a new lease of life again and a bit more love for being able to drive. So anyway, we're going to get out there, change the Jubilee clip and then take it for a drive, and hopefully that sorts the issue. Well guys, first things first, I'll take the headlight back out so that we can gain access to everything down there. So that's usually just a bolt in the top of the headlight. Put the headlight to one side out the way so it's safe. And then what I've done, I've got obviously my extensions, my 7mm. I've got a wobble knuckle. I'm not actually sure what these are called. Let me know in the comments if you know. But wobble knuckle is what I call it. And I'm going to use that to help me get down to the cold side. There's not a lot of room to work down here. So just bear that in mind. I probably should jack the car up and go at it from underneath, but I'm not up to lifting my jack. I don't think that would be a very good idea at the moment. Okay, there we go. Got him off. Let's get that changed out for a new one. So I've managed to find a new one, guys. This one's a 60 to 80mm because it's about 60. It's probably about a 61mm circumference around the outside of that bottom of the cold side, and the one that I took off it was a 50 to 70mm, which is a perfect size. But 60 to 80mm. Put this in. See how we go. We're on. So start doing this up. Okay, we're tight by hand, so give it a couple of turns with this. Oh no! Oh, twisting again. Right, what I'm going to do is take it out, give it a little run, and see if we've managed to do it. I've got it to the point where you're tightening and tightening and tightening, and then just before it slips off, I've got it just at that point. So I'm going to take it out and see if that helps. If not, then I'm going to have to get a new Jubilee clip. So anyway, let's put all this back together and see if it's worked. Alright guys, just going to let the engine warm up a little bit before we give it any kind of boost. Hopefully you can hear me over the exhaust, and I'm hoping that the camera's not going to be rattling around. When I did some footage, I think it was when we did the draggy video with Yoda Racing, his was bouncing around all over the place, so I'm hoping this one doesn't. It's weird as well because at the moment I'm having to get used to the car again because it's been such a long time since I was in the car. I'm having to sort of remember how everything was, and on top of that we've got the new Recirc valve, so everything sounds a little different. Well, boost went past 15, so I'm hoping that has sorted the problem. I'm just going to turn around now, go back down, and I'll be able to put my foot down just for a gear. I really do hope that sorted it. Fingers crossed. One thing that's horrendous with not just these cars but any boosted cars, trying to chase a boost leak sometimes can be an absolute nightmare. Hopefully no cars are going my way. No, you're going round, good. I only want to put my foot down in one gear to see what the boost, see what happens with the boost like. All that messing about and faffing for a blinking Jubilee clip. Damn, I think it was hard to notice or to find because it was still, the pipe was still connected to the cold side of the intercooler, but because, as I said when I was trying to change the Jubilee clip, there's not a lot of room for it to move around, so I think because of that the pipe didn't move much, but it was enough for the Jubilee clip to not be creating the seal that it needed to. Right guys, back home now. Just coming down the road at the back of my house and I can hear a rattling, and when I put my foot on the clutch it goes away. It's not like a clutch rattle, it's more like an exhaust rattle, so it's either the exhaust is leaking and it's causing a bit of a vibration, maybe the nuts have come undone, or the heat shield is rattling. So I will investigate that next week, later this week hopefully, as long as the weather stays dry, fingers crossed. I just want to say as well a massive thank you to everybody that commented on my last video or that messaged me on my Instagram to say, you know, get well soon or whatever. It really does mean a lot. The fact that you guys are here for me as well as the car, you know, to the journey and the experience that I'm having with the car, it's like I say, it's overwhelming. I really am appreciative of it, so thank you very much. Also, a massive shout out to A&E Motorsport for the forged Recirc valve. I can't remember if I said it earlier in the video, so if I did, sorry for repeating myself, but we got a code for, I think it was £5 off the Recirc valve when you buy through them, so I'll leave a link in the description for them guys. Go and check them out. Their customer service really is second to none. You won't beat their customer service at all, and they are very friendly, very helpful. Go and check them out because they are brilliant, and they've got not just Ford stuff, you know, Renaults, BMWs, Corsas, Vauxhalls, and many more. So check them out guys, and support by supporting them, you are supporting me, and vice versa, so show them some love that they've shown me. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you in the next one.